Hey, thanks for joining me today. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Lisa. I share tips and strategies to help you with your online business using automation and duplication. My marketing business has a focus on developing strong relationships, and my clients are entrepreneurs who want to stand out from their competitors and manage their reputations and legacies. Are you asking questions at work for you? It's a mistake we make without realizing it. Most people don't understand how beneficial good questioning can be. My challenge for you today is whenever you need answers, first stop and ask. What are the right questions to ask? Questions are a sign you want to learn. You want to improve yourself. With that attitude, you will always be successful, no matter what, 100%. So what are the right questions to ask? So far too many people forget to add this important skill to their repertoire. Most people are preoccupied with looking for answers without realizing that they might be asking the wrong questions in the first place. How to ask a question is as important as what to ask. Asking questions is a learned skill. It's taught to police officers, soldiers, interrogators, who are people that need the skill to elicit information. Unfortunately, it's not taught at the same degree to entrepreneurs, and yet it's the cornerstone to how well you'll perform in sales and understanding. Asking questions effectively takes a skill which does take time and practice. It also requires discipline and knowledge and confidence. So in sales, you don't want to come across as a prosecutor in a court of law that's going to guarantee your sale will run from you. But as you work on and develop this skill, you should probably start thinking about a strategy you will use to get your customers to open up and talk to you. How you phrase your questions will have an impact on how willing your customer is to participate in a conversation and just how much you will learn about their needs. In order to ask good questions that are relevant to your prospects, you need to identify their biggest obstacles. Understanding those obstacles are so important in getting your prospect to open up. This is the only way to solve your prospect's problem. Let's examine why we even ask questions in the first place. If there is one reason that holds true under all circumstances of why we need to ask good questions is simply because we don't know the answer. As innocent as it sounds, asking questions stirs up awareness for clarity. Different styles of questions are needed under different circumstances and depending on the goal to be reached and the characteristics of the person being asked. We tend to be fearful when we have doubts because doubts are like the hunters and we are like the hunted. Asking questions shifts our roles from the hunted to the hunters. When it comes to getting answers, the quality of your questions matters. Not all questions are created equally. A vague question deserves a vague answer. And you get useless answers when you ask the wrong questions. Usually a vague question is just too broad and not specific to what you're really looking for. So here are some examples of the wrong questions people commonly ask. One would be, how can I sell more today? Or how can I build a successful business? Of course, you need to solve that type of problem, but for long-term success, it's not enough to ask vague questions. The better questions to ask are more specific about what you can learn and what opportunities you might be missing. Asking tough questions first can make people more willing to open up. What you're asking may make sense to you, but for some key reason, the listener isn't getting it. If that's the case, listen to your own communication. If you don't feel heard and understood, it may be your own communication style, which you have to take a look at. If you truly want to be understood, get clear on what you're asking and then ask a clarifying question. So clarifying questions are also a good way of properly understanding the nuances of someone's opinion. By asking open, clarifying questions, the listener is making the speaker elaborate on their thoughts and providing a more detailed version of them. If you notice that the questions you pose aren't being answered, become a master at asking good questions. It's a learned skill, but with practice, asking good questions will give you the answers that you require. All right, if you found helpful information in this today, I'd love for you to follow along. Join my email series, no questions asked. But hey, thanks for joining me. Again, I hope you found value in what I shared, and I will see you next time. Thanks again.